All right, so I'm going to be talking about my story of how I went from someone who was clinically diagnosed with agoraphobia and panic disorder to eventually traveling the world. So, what this looks like, guys, to put this into perspective, I used to be someone who was afraid to leave my room. I mean, I remember I would literally ration my food for as long as I could in order to stay in my room as long as I could. And now I'm someone who has traveled the world. I've gone on plenty of flights, both internationally and domestically. I've graduated from college. Throughout my time in college, I worked as an EMT. I've got my scuba diving license. I've gone skydiving. I've gone on helicopter rides. And I did all of this without medication. The point is, I've really figured out this panic attack and agoraphobia disorder. And I'm kind of here just to tell my story, and maybe you can learn a thing or two from it. Right. So, to fully understand my story, we got to start from the beginning. My panic attacks kind of started as early as elementary school. I remember going on a field trip to a museum, and we went into this little theater where we were watching a movie about Mars. And for some reason, I just started having a panic attack, and I had to go outside of the movie theater with the teacher and just kind of like calm down and catch my breathing. Now, luckily at this time, my tooth fell out right then. So whenever all my classmates came out, they're like, "Oh, where were you? What happened?" I was like, "Oh, my tooth came out." Instead of having to explain that I was having a panic attack, even though I would not have been able to do that at that time. But yeah, this went all the way up until college. Um, even through high school, I remember I missed so many days of school just because of my anxiety and agoraphobia. And I still had no idea really what it was. I mean, I knew, of course, it was anxiety at that point, but I really did not get like a finger on the pulse until a lot later whenever I ended up just sucking it up and going to therapy because I kind of was just like running out of options. But we'll keep on going through my experiences with this agoraphobia and panic disorder. So yeah, we'll kind of get to the breaking point where it was like, all right, enough is enough. I'm going to have to go ahead and try and get some help for this. So I remember I was in this mentorship program where we would kind of get mentored by real engineers at a company, and they so happened to be downtown. And one of the days of our mentorship, instead of the engineers coming to the college, we took a bus downtown to go ahead and tour one of their facilities. Now, I wasn't really thinking of anything of it. However, on the way there, I kind of realized this was downtown and there's going to be like plenty of tall buildings, and I was like, these people probably work in a really tall building. Anyways, we pull up and I see like the extremely tall building, and I'm just like, oh shit. Hopefully, we don't have to go up very high. Whatever. So we go in. I'm kind of nervous about going to a high floor or whatever, but we're just getting a tour. It starts on the first floor. We have to do like some security checks, and then we go up to maybe the sixth floor, and I'm like, man, sixth floor, that's not bad. I can handle this. But then we go to the 11th floor, and then we go to the 12th floor, and then at this point, I'm just like gripping, I'm white knuckling myself, just trying to not have an absolute mental breakdown. And honestly, I'm not doing well at all. And there's still probably like another half day left of this tour. Anyways, we go to the elevator and they're like, all right, we're going to go to the 33rd floor. And I'm just like, oh my God. So I get in line and I start talking to one of my like friends in line, and I say, have you guys ever been to like a floor as high as 33? And they're like, oh no, I don't really think so. And then they're like, have you? And I was like, no, and I'm not going to. And I just fucking left. I literally just like started walking the opposite direction, went to like a stairwell, and I had to like find my way out of this pretty complicated building with actual security and like security guards. And I eventually find my way out. I just like walk straight past all the metal detectors and everything. And then next thing I know, I'm out in the street and I'm having a full blown panic attack at this time. And I have to tell my mom to come and pick me up. And the worst part about it was she was not going to be there for like over an hour or even later. This is a really low point for me. Anyway, so now I'm walking through the city with these very tall buildings. I'm having a full blown panic attack. I can't really catch my breath. Eventually, I go into like a little like Taiwan coffee shop or something, like Taiwanese coffee shop. I don't know really what it was, but I was able to kind of just catch my breath and calm down a little bit until my mom got there. And guys, at this point, I'm probably like 19, 20. So as you can see, this is really holding me back in life. And it was around this point where I kind of just sucked it up and I was like, all right, I need to get some help. And I went to therapy. And I was honestly so reluctant to go to therapy. Honestly, I should have went to therapy a very long time ago, but I was just so worried about being put on like a list or something, not being able to pursue the careers I wanted to because I'm not mentally stable and not to go to therapy. But guys, honestly, it was such a misunderstanding of what therapy is, and if I could go back in time, I definitely would have gone to therapy a lot sooner. But yeah, in therapy, I really figured out what was causing my problems. I figured out coping techniques and how to deal with all my problems that I was experiencing. And yeah, I still get the physical sensations of like the attacks. Like I still have that gene. However, it does not affect my life whatsoever at all anymore. It does not hold me back. And whenever I get those symptoms, I know what to do. And I'm just honestly, I'm completely calm. It's just more of like physical sensations. And I would not have been able to get to this point without exposure therapy and just therapy in general. So the reason I'm making this video is because I really wish I would have had someone post this kind of video whenever I was having my panic attacks, and to know that it is possible to have very severe panic attacks and agoraphobia and anxiety just in general, and you don't have to take medication for this problem to become manageable and for your life to not be held back from this problem. So yeah, if you've made it this far into the video, I really appreciate it. And if you're experiencing anxiety, panic attacks, agoraphobia, or what have you, I just want to reassure you that it is possible to fix this. And with a lot of work and effort, you are definitely going to be able to get this under control. And don't be afraid to go to therapy. Honestly, I didn't tell anybody I went to therapy for like 2 years. I kept it a secret. So if that's a strategy you need to do too, that's just something that maybe you should look into. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like the video, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.